We are kicking off this Memorial Day weekend with some friends from Carry the Load. We've got a bunch of veterans out here and their families. We'll talk to them throughout the rest of the morning.
We want to thank you for being up with us on this Friday morning, a very special Friday morning as we head into the Memorial Day weekend. Look at the crowd that we have out on the plaza this morning from Carry the Load. Just a great group of people. If you are new to North Texas, we're going to tell you about this Memorial Day tradition. It's a Memorial Day weekend tradition. It goes the whole weekend. And it's extraordinary. It puts the meaning back into this holiday that we will observe on Monday. So we're going to get out there and talk to them. You just look out there at that crowd and you imagine all the service that has come from the people who are standing there or their loved ones.
In a lot of different forms. And in fact, they're also going to be working out, some of them. We've got a free workout for veterans. It's starting at 6 a.m. So you still got a little bit of time to come out and get your sweat on. And we are kicking off the weekend with DJ LC and our friends from Carry the Load. Look at our tiny friends there as well. We will be chatting with them about meaningful ways to honor and celebrate the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes, which include military, veterans, first responders, and of course their families. So that more on that when we come back.
And coming up, we are getting you ready for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Carry the Load is this weekend in Dallas. We're going to be talking to the organizers next about how you can participate and honor our fallen heroes. Good morning. We are kicking off this Memorial Day weekend with a bunch of friends, many of whom are veterans, members of the military, as well as we look ahead to Carry the Load, which happens this weekend in Dallas. Joining me now is Todd Boating. You're a board member of Carry the Load, also a former Marine. Thank you so much for your service and for being here early this morning. You know, it's kind of a difficult thing. We want to celebrate, but do you consider it a celebration?
It's a great question. I love that you asked it that way. We celebrate their lives, but we honor them in more than anything else. Many people look at Memorial Day as simply a day off work. They look at it as an opportunity to get together and drink beer. And those things are fine as long as we're keeping in mind the reason why the day exists. And the reason the day exists is that somebody cared about us enough to put themselves between us and evil. And so we have to remember that that's why we're here.
About 4 years ago when I moved here, I learned what Carry the Load is and what it means.
Yes.
Can you explain the symbolism for people, because we've got so many people moving to North Texas and from outside the country even, they may not know about this.
So the concept really is, and if you look at our logo, it's about somebody carried us at one point. They carried the load that really keeps us free. And so now it's our turn to carry them in memoriam.
I love it, and I love that you have your daughter, 10-year-old Finley, out here, and she is not only participating, she's learning as she goes.
She is. We were fortunate enough, my wife and I, to take her and one of our other daughters up to D.C. a couple weeks ago and show them what it means to the people out on the relay, those families who have lost loved ones, to be able to show them that we haven't forgotten about their loved ones, and to be able to introduce them to the history of this country, because when we forget the history, we have a tendency to repeat it.
Well, we certainly are appreciative of you guys being out here and all the awareness that you're raising through Carry the Load. And don't forget, you guys can meet up with them at some point over the weekend, and certainly at Reverchon Park on Monday at around 12:30. Thank you again, Todd. We're going to be out here continuing to chat with our friends from Carry the Load and have a free workout for veterans too, happening at 6 a.m. So more about this when we come back. Also, we are kicking off Memorial Day weekend with our friends from Carry the Load, along with DJ LC, of course. We are honoring our military veterans, first responders, and their families. We also have a little workout happening outside, free to veterans, courtesy of J Fit and the Sweatshop in Oak Cliff. We'll be right back. goodness, you guys, welcome back to News 8 Daybreak. Look at this. We're getting our sweat on outside with J-Fit from the Sweatshop in Oak Cliff. This is a free workout for veterans, and I think some of our friends from Carry the Load and their kiddos just were inspired to get moving and work out. So we're going to talk to them coming up in your health check.
And good for them, by the way.
Yeah. You want to go join them?
They're almost inspiring.
You look a little excited.
I'm overdressed.
Good morning. We are kicking off this Friday with DJ LC and the folks from Carry the Load. The organization helps families of fallen military members and first responders as we honor their sacrifice this Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, he's surrounded by some big names out there. Tommy Habib, Eric Roberts, the brother of Julia Roberts, an actor in his own right. Isaiah Stanbeck, Dallas Cowboy and Super Bowl champion with the New York Giants. And Melissa Valdez, sports media personality. So got a lot of folks out there on the patio, really kind of getting us in the mood for what Memorial Day weekend and what Memorial Day is all about.
Yeah, so we'll go out there and talk to them in just a little bit. We are checking in with our veterans who are partying on the Plaza with a workout, of course. These are the guys from the Sweatshop in Oak Cliff. We'll chat with them coming up next. Good morning. We are kicking off Memorial Day weekend with our friends from Carry the Load. Also, my friend Josh Corona from the Sweatshop in Oak Cliff, J-Fit as we like to call him. Thank you so much for getting your friends out here. Look, we talked to a former Marine. I had to get the Navy guy in here. You've got quite the story, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So tell me, why do this? Why come out here? Why offer this as an opportunity, especially for veterans in our community?
One reason why we offer our services is because transitioning from the military into the civilian world, you kind of lose a part of you when you're coming out of the military. In the military, you're used to working out as a team. You have that brotherhood, you have that camaraderie, you have that accountability, you have that discipline. And when you come out, you kind of miss that. It's a part of you. So fitness is one thing that brings us together. One thing we say about teamwork is the way to build teamwork and the way to build camaraderie and brotherhood is to be able to sweat together. So fitness is a big part of that.
And so good for your mental health too, as you're coming back and, like you're saying, kind of readjusting to life in the civilian world. And look, y'all, I have been to these workouts at the Sweatshop. They're pretty intense, but you guys are intense people.
Yes, ma'am. You know, that intensity kind of fires you up. It gets you going because when you're feeling depressed and you're going through those mental battles, you know, nothing like a good workout to kick you right in gear and get you going.
And you guys have men who work out there. You've got women who work out there. It's kind of a hit style, like boot camp workout. Is this mimicking what you guys do earlier on in your military experience?
Yes, ma'am. One of the things we do is a lot of conditioning work, a lot of push-ups, a lot of squats, a lot of sit-ups. We take it back to the basics, bringing it back into a group environment and just counting the repetitions together and holding each other accountable. And that high-intensity work, man, it just gets you going, especially first thing in the morning.
Well, listen, we just showed some of your pictures from your time. Thank you for your service and your continued service in spreading the message of health and fitness in our community. We really appreciate you, Josh. All right, Greg, back inside you. It is windy and kind of sticky out here.
But sweating for a good cause. If you're looking for a way to mark Memorial Day, you can really get into the meaning of it by being a part of the Carry the Load March. Joining us right now is Todd Boating with Carry the Load. Todd, thanks for being out here. Thanks to everybody for coming out today. What a crowd you guys have here. For people who don't know what Carry the Load is, just explain a little bit about what you're here to do.
Right, so Carry the Load is about restoring the true meaning of Memorial Day. And when we talk about Memorial Day, this is something that's significant to all of us.
Yeah.
You know, as Americans, we all care. We care about our country. We care about where it's going. A lot of people don't know how to care, though. They don't know how to show that. And so we give an interactive way for families to come out and really show their appreciation, pay their respects to those who got between us and evil, and as a result made the ultimate sacrifice.
And we're talking about military heroes, first responders, their families who also sacrifice so much. Every one of these placards you're seeing here, these are people who other people carry. That's why we call it carrying the load. They're carrying someone else in their hearts, and these are people who have sacrificed for all of us, and their families, of course, have sacrificed as well. This started so small not that long ago here in Dallas, then it expanded expanded to this march from the East Coast, and then I was there with you guys in Seattle when we came from the West Coast too. And it all culminates here in Dallas, and it's going to do that again at Rivershon Park on Sunday. And we want to point out, Todd, anybody can be a part of this. They don't have to have a member of their family in the military.
No, that's absolutely correct. I mean, if you appreciate the freedoms that we have, then you should be out there. I mean, it's a family-friendly event. My family comes out every year. We want everyone out there because we have to show the surviving families that the death of their loved one mattered. We appreciate it. We were worth it, and we have to show them that they were worth it.
And it all culminates at Rivershon Park on Monday for the closing ceremony at 12:30. We're going to be out there for that as well. More on this on I Am Still Up on our Daybreak Facebook page. Thank you all. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service.
Hey, thanks to WFA.
Remember it all on Memorial Day, everybody. They're putting the meaning back in Memorial Day again. Be a part of this. We'll see you on I Am Still Up in just a minute.